In this video, you're about to discover which AI coding assistant will actually make you better developer. And I'm going to tell you exactly which one deserves your money and your trust. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another AI coding tool comparison where someone uses each tool for 5 minutes and declares a winner. That's not what this is. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which tool fits your development style, your budget, and most importantly, which one will actually make you more productive. Here's what we're going to cover. First, I'll break down Ultimate, what it does well, where it struggles, and whether the hype is justified. Then we'll dive deep into JetBrains AI Pro, exploring how it integrates with the IDEs you probably already loved. Finally, I'll give you my honest recommendation based on different developer profiles because the truth is, the best tool for you depends entirely on how you code and what you're building. Ultimate positions itself as the all in one AI coding solution that works across multiple editors and languages. After using it extensively, I can tell you that it lives up to some of its promises while falling short in others. The setup process with Ultimate is refreshingly simple. You install the plugin, authenticate with your account, and within minutes, you have AI assistance across your entire development environment. What impressed me initially was how quickly it understood context, not just the current file, but my entire project structure. Ultimate's code completion is genuinely impressive. It doesn't just autocomplete the obvious next line, it often suggests entire functions or complex logic blocks that are surprisingly accurate. I've had it generate complete API endpoints, including proper error handling and validation, just from a function signature and a comment describing what I wanted. The multi-language support is where Ultimate really shines. I work primarily in JavaScript, Python, and Go, and Ultimate handles all three with remarkable consistency. It understands the idioms and patterns specific to each language. Rather than just applying generic programming knowledge across the board, one feature that caught me off guard was Ultimate's ability to refactor existing codes. You can select a block of code, describe what you want to change, and it'll restructure it while maintaining functionality. I've used this to convert callback heavy JavaScript to async, await, optimize database queries, and even migrate code between different frameworks. However, Ultimate isn't perfect. The biggest frustration I've encountered is inconsistency in code quality suggestions. Sometimes it generates elegant production ready code, and other times it produces verbose, inefficient solutions that require significant cleanup. You definitely can trust it blindly. The debugging assistant is hit or missed, while Ultimate can analyze error messages or suggest fixes. It often provides generic solutions rather than understanding the specific context of your application. I found myself spending more time explaining my code base to get useful debugging help. Now, let's talk about JetBrains AI Pro. JetBrains AI Pro takes a completely different approach by deeply integrating with the JetBrains IDE ecosystem. If you're already using Entally, JIDEA, PCharm, or WebStorm, these integration feels seamless and natural. The first thing you notice with JetBrains AI Pro is how well it understands your project structure and dependencies. Because it's built into the IDE, it has access to your entire code base, build configuration, and even your version control history. This context awareness translates into much more relevant suggestions. Code completion in JetBrains AI Pro feels more intelligent and contextual than Ultimate. It doesn't just suggest what might come next, it suggests what should come next based on your existing code patterns, imported libraries, and project architecture. I found its suggestions require less manual tweaking to fit into existing code bases. The refactoring capabilities are where JetBrains AI Pro really excels. Since it's integrated with JetBrains' already excellent refactoring tools, the AI suggestions feel like natural extensions of functionality you're already familiar with. Renaming variables, extracting methods, and restructuring classes all feel more confident and reliable. One standout feature is the intelligent code analysis. JetBrains AI Pro can identify potential performance bottlenecks, security vulnerabilities, and architectural issues within the context of your specific project. It's not just running generic static analysis, it's understanding your application's flow and identifying real problems. The testing assistant in JetBrains AI Pro is surprisingly sophisticated. It can generate comprehensive test suites that actually test meaningful scenarios rather than just basic happy path cases. I've seen it create integration tests that mock external dependencies appropriately and unit tests that cover edge cases I hadn't considered. However, JetBrains AI Pro has some limitations that might be deal breakers depending on your setup. The most obvious is IDE dependency. You're locked into the JetBrains ecosystem. If you prefer VS Code, Vim, or other editors, these tools simply isn't an option. The learning curve can also be a steeper if you're not already familiar with JetBrains IDEs. The AI features are powerful, but they're layered on top of already complex development environments that can feel overwhelming to newcomers. In terms of raw performance, both tools are generally responsive, but there are notable differences. Ultimate tends to be faster with initial suggestions but can slow down significantly when working with larger code bases. JetBrains AI Pro has more consistent performance but can feel sluggish during the initial project indexing phase. Reliability has been better with JetBrains AI Pro in my experience. I've encountered fewer instances where the AI completely misunderstood context or provided nonsensical suggestions. Ultimate has more spectacular successes but also more spectacular failures. Both tools handle internet connectivity issues gracefully with local caching that keeps basic functionality working even when the connection is spotty. However, the most advanced AI features require a stable connection for both platforms. Here's the bottom line. Choose JetBrains AI Pro if you're already comfortable with JetBrains IDEs and working primarily with mainstream languages and frameworks. The deep integration and contextual awareness make it significantly more productive than Ultimate for this use case. Choose Ultimate if you need flexibility across multiple editors, work with diverse programming languages, or prefer a more editor agnostic solution. It's also the better choice if you're not ready to commit to JetBrains ecosystem or if your team uses varied development environments. For beginners or developers just starting to explore AI assisted coding, I'd actually recommend starting with Ultimate despite its inconsistencies. The broader language support and editor flexibility give you more room to experiment and find what works for your specific workflow. If budget is a major concern and you're already using free or open source development tools, Ultimate provides more immediate value without requiring additional IDE licensing cost. Both Ultimate and JetBrains AI Pro represent solid options for AI assisted development, but they serve different developer needs. After extensive testing, JetBrains AI Pro wins for developers already in the JetBrains ecosystem, while Ultimate offers more flexibility for diverse development environments. The key is matching the tool to your workflow. Try both if possible. Your coding style and project requirements will determine which provides more value. Both tools require active engagement rather than blind acceptance of suggestions.